Hello everyone. Today we are doing a reaction on this particular video. Favorite channel Kaisavi. So let's get into it.
What are some challenges you faced while moving to Canada for work?
They think that you can't speak English.
Canada doesn't program you to work and enjoy your work.
How different are the salaries in Canada compared to in Mexico?
Money just goes.
Do you have any regrets moving to Canada?
Sometimes it's just hard to make friends here.
More than 400,000 immigrants came.
There you go, guys. Starting right in the facts, and we're getting a good perspective as we can see. A lot of people here. So let's continue and see what this interview can bring us and what you can learn from it. Very important. Let's go.
To Canada last year alone. And while coming here is quite glamorized to the outside world, the realities of working here can be quite different if you come with false expectations. So we're asking immigrants from other countries, what's it like to work here? And all of our guests gave some great advice at the end of the video to those who are considering to move to Canada for work. Where are you from?
Nigeria,
Mumbai.
Mexico City, Sri Lanka,
India.
Bangladesh,
What do you do in Canada?
medical doctor.
software engineer,
Project coordinator.
I work as an architect.
property accountant.
How different is work in your country compared to the work in Canada?
That's completely different because here I have a good work balance. I can just go out by 5, rush back home, enjoy my summer hours. But then back home, it was a bit difficult because I was occupied with a lot of deadlines. Here, work life balance is much more stable for me.
In Mexico, you have to work long hours, and here you have to work just specific hours.
Two sides.
There you go, guys. Right away, different professions, different cultures, different countries, and they all have different perspectives, right? So we are getting right away to the straight to the content. No fluff, no nonsense, going right to it, just the way we like it. So far is looking like this one. So let's continue.
In Nigeria, we are more culturally oriented. Canada is more regimented. You get to your place of work, you already have your schedule. You see task shift duty. Do this, do this, do this. Done, not done. Why? Kind of make you feel on edge. So Canada makes you feel like you're working for your money. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, you're working and you're enjoying your work. Canada doesn't program you to work and enjoy your work.
The work.
There you go, guys. I think he's right away dropping. Right? Main difference he's saying, and he's from Nigeria. There he enjoys the work. Here it looks like he's slave. And imagine that's a doctor there saying it. So can you imagine what people that are in lower hierarchy or that lower levels are going to say when they get in here? Okay. Turning out interesting. Let's hope we're going to see this when we get here. Let's continue and see what she says.
Culture is probably very different. Over here, Canadians are generally professional, and doesn't matter how low you are in the hierarchy of the structure, everybody's respected.
I was
There you guys again. Very truthful. We always say like it's a negative parts, but there are also good parts, right? I have also experienced it. They're very professional. They're very respectful. As long as you can do your job properly and do not be rude or do not try to think you're a big shot when you're actually not. When you're starting out, you need to make sure you respect the colleagues, you make sure you work with them properly. So this doesn't happen. So let's get into it.
working in a corporate way back home in Sri Lanka, and it was much easier to get in because of your network back home. Coming to Canada, it was much harder, especially like landing your first job.
How different are the salaries compared in Canada compared to your country?
Here, most of the salaries goes to taxes, and yeah, back in my country, it's like 15%, so things are not so good.
In Mexico, you can have a good salary depending which position you have, which provides you a good living in Mexico. Here, you may have a 60K of the year. You are on the average of income. Right now, it's kind of a bit expensive here.
Definitely much better in terms of the pay here in Canada. That's one of the main reasons for people move into Canada for a better life, to make more money.
So there you go, guys. Two different perspectives. Some are saying it's not that much money because goes in taxes. Other one is saying it's a good money compared to what they are living, right? So it all depends on where you are exactly in the country, where you're coming from, and which particular places you are. So that's very true. And I think tax is very important to consider because we don't consider that. We just see the salary. But remember, that's not the actual salary, right? That's the gross salary. Taxes has to go out. It goes automatically, so you can't even stop it. taxes. There's something called CPP. If you guys don't know, research that out. EI. These are things that employer will take away the money from you, so you can see the money going out in your paycheck, but you can't do anything because directly goes straight to it. So tax is very important. And I think they are doing the right points to giving us all direction that we need, so we don't have to feel this. And most importantly, guys, I think they are dropping good knowledge to us. Let's go.
Again, depends on the role. We also have to pay. I mean, you're taxed as you make more income here.
Salaries in Nigeria is better, you understand? Because I can be making an equivalent of $1,000 in Nigerian naira. The amount that I'm going to spend out of that $1,000 to get my house, rent, everything may just be about 300 or 400. I have opportunity to save. Well, you can't try that here in Canada.
Your rent
Your
takes.
rent is not even enough. So it's like they give.
There you go, guys. Again, look at the timeline. Nigeria, doctor. And he's saying he can't save money. Imagine, he's already in the top and he's already saying he can't save money. That's why the more you go higher, the more taxes go out. Canada has a progressive tax system. So what this means is, let's say you assume 40K, you get taxed 50%. Now you make 60K. So then what happens? 40K gets taxed at 50%. The remaining 20 will tax a different percentage bracket that they have. And that's how it goes. It keeps on going up and up and up and it does not stop. So more money you make, remember, the more taxes you're giving. That's why we have different accounts here that we can use in when you're Canadian to save some on taxes. But you need to remember the fact that more money you make, the more taxes you have to pay. That's always going to be the thing. So be sure you're ready for this. So this doesn't happen to you, or someone doesn't do this to you. When you try to ask them, where is my money? Let's go.
And they take.
And what about the people at work?
Oh, they're amazing. Like, they're super cooperative, they're respectful, very appreciative of the work.
Well, Mexico, basically in Mexico, when you work with other Mexicans, it's like a more party, you know? Yeah, we spend a lot of time talking together and going for the coffee, you know? Yeah, and here the culture is like a more formal. I mean, the people are more quiet.
That's why we love Mexicans. What are some challenges you face while coming to Canada to work?
A house and
Housing.
Finding places.
Housing is expensive, quite expensive. You know, in Mexico, I own my own apartment, so I didn't have to spend in rent.
house hunt was a bit difficult for me.
There you go, guys. The previous guy was a financial advisor, so he obviously knows what he's saying, and he was saying housing is very expensive, especially if you come to big cities, like we get the glow of Toronto, I believe, Vancouver, one of them. All these big cities, it was already expensive before, but now because you guys know inflation is going to be out of the roof. Way out there is going to be very expensive to at least begin. Forget about expanding. So when you come in here, make sure aware of this as well. So this doesn't happen to you. Or you get this. Or you finally might think. All right, let's get into it.
Because it's just too pricey here. Since I was the first one in my family to move, so I did not have any background and I could ask questions. So I was like a child just adapting to the situation everywhere here. But yes, initially house hunting.
Finding places is really hard. Like when I spent 1 month in Airbnb while I was working, so it was tough for me that time.
Would you ever recommend anyone from your country to come to Canada to work?
There you go, guys. And these are like project coordinators, software engineers, the professionals that we think will be will not have that much issues at least, right? But you can see these guys that are at level are still facing this issue and they're open and honest about it. That's very important. They are not fluffing anything or letting us know what is not. So we do not have to face this, guys. So listen carefully, as this might provide you some knowledge that you might not otherwise have. So that's what it is, guys. Let's continue and see if they recommend this to come anyone to come to Canada. Let's go.
work?
Yes, they do have to remember though, there is bias against immigrants, but I think that's changing to be more favorable. I think people are recognizing the talent immigrants bring, and that is changing. I moved here a long time ago and I experienced bias. It took time to change that, and I've seen a shift.
Could you give us an example of what kind of bias an immigrant can experience?
Like they don't want to hire you. They think that you can't speak English or cannot communicate or have an accent. They equate that to you not being competent at your job, which is not the case.
Have you experienced anything in particular?
Yeah, when I first moved here, I wouldn't get hired just because I was an immigrant. They would be like, oh, I don't know how good she is. There were people that were willing to give me a chance. And then obviously I made my way up.
If you get a high
There you go, guys. Bias is also an important thing. So, very important to know. So, I think this video so far is giving us all the information and is dropping, right? So, it's very important. Like, bias will to make sure we have it in our head. So, we come in here, we should not get discouraged, we should not get annoyed by it, and we should not ever feel this way. Because we need to know and we need to be aware of this. So we know that it's not just us that are facing the issues, it's everybody that starts. It's different culture, it's different environment, especially if you're coming from other developing countries like India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nigeria, like these guys we can see. So it's a very different environment, different culture that we are brought up in. And now suddenly we decide to shift it. Obviously it's going to have difference, right? So let's continue and see.
paying job, then come. Otherwise, no.
Why would you say that?
Because Canada, especially in ITs, it's not like USA or Europe, to be honest. Here is mostly service industries. Here people like give services for the multi-millionaire organization, but they are not actually developing things there. And very few mind-blowing startup are there. Most of the jobs are there in USA or in Europe. So
Yes,
Again, guys, very important. Service based industry. It's not a tech hub. You might see or hear Toronto the tech hub. It might be, it might not be. What this means is it's a hub for Canada, but it's not a global hub like we have in San Francisco or the Silicon Valley, they say, right? Because there's different population, right? Imagine, guys, we have in Canada 9 provinces, 3 states. Oh, sorry, 9 provinces, 3 territories. In US, there are 50 states. So can you imagine, guys? The difference is huge. It's like this, right? So obviously, it's not going to be a tech hub, and the environment and the culture and the production and how we set up is like service based. So we are more labor intensive. There, they are more tech intensive. That's why you see the indexes, S&P, Nasdaq. What do they have companies? They have all the tech firms, right? Because that's all originated in US, and that's what is running the economy. The tech dominates in Canada. Banking dominates. Two different industries, two different concepts. So be sure to know this if you decide to come in here, so you don't get shocked and you don't have to feel this way. So let's continue.
depends on their field. If they're in tech field, they would prefer to go to US. Canada is basically considered as a labor country where labor-oriented work is more predominant.
Yeah, for sure. I have many friends trying to come. They've been asking me how I do to come here to Canada, and I explain them.
So if you're from Mexico, you know this guy, he can help you out. Is immigrating to Canada very glamorized to the outside world?
There you go, guys. Even the financial advisor is telling us, right? It's very different. It's a different economy, different country. So be aware when you're getting there. Be aware to know your surroundings. Be able to do some research. And now, as you guys know, with YouTube, AI, you guys have so much resources that you can research and you can watch real people like these guys that have been here. When we were coming here, we had none of these things. YouTube was basically like starting. Nobody cared about it. Nobody believed it. AI was, let's be honest, not there. It came in 2020. We came in probably around way before that. So we never have that access to that as well. But now, if you guys are planning to come in here, you guys have all the information now. So then you can't come in here and then say, oh, we didn't know. No, you guys have all the access, and it's all important thing is, guys, it's all free for you to see. Watch as many times as you want. Research, everything is there for you guys. AI has done so well for you and anyone else that wants to come in here research. It's like everything is available. So if you don't do your research and get in here with bushy eyes and looking just for naive, thinking, oh, it's going to be amazing, like a 20-year-old, right? Get in here, let's party, let's do the thing. That's what his camera is, right? Toronto, clubs, everything, right? That is side part of it. Most people that do all this, they are working 9 to 5 very badly or very hard, and there might be like taking loans, credits to do enjoy that 2 days of the life. So if you are coming here thinking right away you're going to enjoy the life, be away from all the judgmental things, partial truth to that, but the truth is you have to make sure that you're aware of all these situations as well. It's not as glamorized as it was. It never was glamorized because remember, guys, you're coming to a new country which is from other places going to be very cold. And I mean, at winter time, it sometimes can go minus 15, 20 degrees Celsius. Not Fahrenheit, Celsius. Do the conversion as well. If you're coming from country like where I came from India, we never had minus. No minus at all. So when we came in here, shocked. System gets shocked right away. We are aware of this, guys. So this doesn't happen to you guys. And you don't get this. Or this. Or someone does this. So let's continue, guys.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it's so expensive. Mortgage, rent, groceries, everything. Going to a restaurant, money just goes so fast. Also, if you don't have family support and you have trouble making friends, it can make you prone to anxiety and depression. So that's also something to be aware of.
Do you have any
There you go, guys. I think she's dropping. We don't think of our mental health in our countries because it's like doesn't work there, right? We're not allowed to think about it. It's already everything is system is already built. It's a community based, right? But here is more of individualism based. Same in US as well. So you have to make sure that mental health is also very important to remember. So anxiety and depression will creep into you. You might think you're strong mentally, but doesn't matter how much strong you are. What I think is doesn't matter what you think you believe in until you are put in a situation and you're able to actually face the situation. You don't have other option. That is the time you actually will see how mentally strong you are. And I can guarantee you, for most of you, I don't think most of them are mentally strong. So you have to see and face it. And I really hope you guys are that strong and you're able to make it. But if you're not, just remember it's not fault, it's not some other things, but it is just the reality that we get used to and that the life that we have here. You work 5 days, you get to enjoy 2 days if you're lucky. But in this environment, it's going to be tough to even enjoy those 2 days. Let's continue, guys.
regrets moving to Canada?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet, yes.
That's awesome to hear.
At the beginning, I had a regret. I had my regrets, but the reason why my regrets were very limited was because I knew what I was going into. I knew it was going to be, there were going to be challenges. But, the unemployment rate, the housing, the discriminations, sometimes you don't prepare for some of these.
Right away, guys, he's doing. Right? He's saying all the important things that we need to hear.
Things. Even if you knew theoretically that you're going to face them, when they hit you, then you know that it's real.
What advice would you give to
Again, guys, dropping. Right? When it hits you, that's when you know it's real. Very important quote to remember.
someone who wants to move to Canada from your country?
Whatever education you have, make it transferable so it can be transferred to any country. Study according to this job market, like which skill or which part of education you should focus right now.
Though Vancouverites or even I would say Canadians are referred to as very super friendly people, but then also